their lives by some losing their homes, facing a catastrophic hurricane. And it's nice to know that these Texans who have been displaced have some place to come to. And it's here in San Antonio because San Antonio is so incredibly welcoming. There's a great facility behind us, a former school that is providing 3 meals a day, places to sleep, a temporary location where people can survive until they're going to be able to make their way back to Corpus Christi. Let me say a few things about that, then I know the mayor will want to speak. We had a statewide conference call earlier today where we talked to more than 30 state agencies that are involved in the process of making sure that Texans are going to be able to respond to this challenge. We also have been dealing with both FEMA, with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, as well as Red Cross, a group that is doing a fabulous job. One thing the state of Texas is doing is we have deployed hundreds of buses like what you see right here to evacuate people who need to leave the coastal region and come to locations like this. We've also strategically located many rescue teams who will be involved in rescuing those who are trapped by rising water. We still have a very important message at this time, and that is whether you are from the coastal Bend region around Corpus Christi all the way up to the Houston area. The most important thing that you can do is to safeguard your own life. And it's the right thing to do for these people to have left Corpus Christi to come to a location like this because they know one thing for sure, and that is they are still alive. And there will be others coming in like that. As the waters rise after the rain falls, it's going to be so important that people make wise decisions and stay safe. And we'll have plenty of time to rebuild homes and rebuild lives. But the most important thing right now is for everybody to stay safe. We will be working very closely with FEMA to ensure that after the first few days of this storm, people will begin to be able to rebuild their lives. And that will be with the aid of us working with FEMA. But first things first, and that is aiding those who needed to evacuate. And I'm honored to be here with the mayor of San Antonio. At this time, Mayor, I have you say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor, and thank you all for being here today. I don't know if you can hear me, but you know what you're seeing right now is San Antonio at its finest. We are a compassionate city. The first thing we ask is how can we help? So we're receiving hundreds of evacuees. We have been throughout the day. We have over 700 at this point evacuees located here in San Antonio. We continue to work with our state agencies as well as local and regional first responders to make sure that we are helping those people in need. Also here in San Antonio, we expect the weather to continue to deteriorate, so we want to make sure that we get the word out to local residents, stay off the roads, clear a path for first responders, and make sure that you're keeping yourself and your family safe. More than that, we just want to thank everyone who's cooperated with Red Cross or providing some resources, whether their time or their treasure, to make sure that we have everything that we need to give our folks, our neighbors, safe shelter during a storm. Thank you all for all the work that you're doing to help our fellow Texans.
We'll take a few questions, but first, we have some state reps and senators with us. We have Senator Donna Campbell. Senator, you want to say anything?
Hey, Senator.
Yes, you know, I just wanted to tell the community I'm so proud of how they come together, elected officials and everything, and it's expected to be one of the worst floods in decades. And so our prayers are with families and everyone. So we'll come together as a community as we do. So thank you very much.
Your district.
Ray Saldana with the City Council. Just to reiterate, the most important thing is not property during these next few days, it's people's lives. San Antonio is over-preparing to make sure that we are receiving folks, whether you're from Corpus or Victoria, shelters like these, middle schools. So this is a place where we are receiving, just as we always do here in San Antonio, those who need help. So we appreciate the message that is continued to be preached by our mayor and our governor and those elected officials here.
Representative Uresti, just reminding everybody that again, San Antonio is opening its arms to everybody that needs a place to be, Right now, we're at Kazan Elementary on Gillette Boulevard, and if need be, we're going to open up another facility in Harlandale. I spoke with Board President Quesada, and he has guaranteed me that if the overflow is needed, that he will open up a second facility for us. But again, San Antonio is welcoming everybody out here. We're going to do everything we can. We're working directly with the Red Cross, with the food bank, and of course with my colleague, Representative Arevalo, and of course with the help of our governor. We're going to get through this, and we're going to get through it good, and we're going to save a lot of lives. And again, our doors are open to everybody.
Very good. One more.
I'm a State Representative Diana Arevalo for House District 116. I know all of us have had the opportunity to tour this facility, and we know that there's incredible volunteers doing their part to step up. When I was touring the facility, there was a few things that I did notice. There were a lot of children, a lot of babies. I know that there's a lot of need for diapers, baby food, and of course formula as well. And we have some seniors as well who need some support. So if there's anybody out there that could give some of those support, whether it's any type of organization, please, they are accepting donations here at this site. We thank you for your continued support.
That's very good.
So take your question. So people should take donations directly here, or where should they take these?
The best place right now, immediately, if you have non-monetary donations, they should be brought here. Baby formula, supplies for babies. Also, there are specific requests for blankets and for towels that are desperately needed tonight, if those can be brought.
1352 Gillette.
1352 Gillette is the location. If you have monetary donations, you can provide those to the Red Cross, which can put it to good use to provide those types of supplies. That would be the best place to provide it to.
One more time, would you say what's needed most?
What is needed most immediately tonight will be blankets and towels that people desperately need to use. In addition to that, there will be an abundance of other supplies that you can learn about by talking to the Red Cross volunteers who are working here tonight. Other questions? Sure. Yeah, it's been made clear that there's only one thing that is important right now, and that is protecting the life and safety of everybody in the state of Texas. And so anybody who comes here is not going to be asked any question. They're just going to be asked, what can we do to help you?
Can you talk about the liquid side or telling you what the atmosphere
Sure. You know, it's two things. One is there's this big sense of relief that people have knowing that they are safe, and they finally have arrived at a place where they know they're going to have some food and a place to rest. But also, of course, there's this sense of sadness that they have left behind, some of them, homes that they fear will not be there when they get back. But they realize they made a wise decision by putting their life first and protecting their life, knowing that they can always go back and rebuild.
One more question, guys.
Governor Abbott, how are you worried at all about federal government's response? There are some big vacancies in the Department of Homeland Security and legal enforcement. How much in communication have you been about?
We've been in constant communication with the federal government beginning more than a week ago, and they've been very proactive. I've had conversations with the president, with the head of U.S. Homeland Security, with the head of FEMA in Washington, D.C., as well as the regional administrator for FEMA. And they've been working very collaboratively with us, providing us everything that we need. And so the federal government has stepped up and worked as a true partner with the state of Texas and with the local government.
Guys, let me say one thing about the volunteer effort. We're asking anybody in San Antonio that has an ability to help, a desire to help, to call 311. We have a volunteer training at the American Red Cross tomorrow at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on East Houston Street. If you can't attend that training, call 311. We can get you set up with the right information to help with this situation. But most of all, if you are in San Antonio and you want to just take care of yourself, stay off the roads, get out of the way of first responders, and make sure that we have clear path for the folks that need help who are being evacuated into San Antonio. Red Cross and 311 are going to be our intake for all volunteer activities. As long as needed.
This is the only shelter open right now?
No. We have several different shelter locations. We also know we have great cooperation with our private sector, our hotels and motels for people who are self-evacuating, making a good choice to leave dangerous areas. We got great cooperation there, but there are several locations. We want to keep folks who don't need to be sheltered away from the shelter locations to make sure there's plenty of room for the first responders to do their work.
And Mayor, a lot of folks are asking, should San Antonio evacuate? What's your guidance?
There is no evacuation order for the city of San Antonio, but we can't say this enough. If you don't need to travel on the roads, we know there's going to be flash flooding. Stay off the roads.
If I could add one last thing, and that is another desperate need tonight would be diapers and baby formula. If anybody can assist in providing diapers and baby formula to these evacuees, that would be a huge help. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody in San Antonio.